Hello beautiful people. Here is a list over easily overlooked changes from the new Alpha Strike update in War Thunder for the lower ranks, and that is mostly World War II content. Starting out with the JU-87B2, this little Stuka can now carry the 1000 kg bomb. Now while I think it's great, it at the same time makes me a little sad. So once people find out, players will more or less stop using the JU-87 R2 model. Players love to use the R2 model for the big bang of the 1000 kg bomb and to get a quick revenge suicide kill with it. And that is sadly the Stuka's only raison d'etre in War Thunder. So now that the B2 model can carry the larger bomb, Gaijin has basically killed off the R2 model at the same time. And to some extent the little premium JU-87 R2 Libya model. Although people hopefully buy the premium for different reasons. If you happen to own that little Soviet event vehicle, the BA-11, you are in for a treat. That scout car cannot almost reverse as fast as it can drive forward. Top speed is 64 km/h forward and now a blistering 54 km/h in reverse. The excellent little Soviet T-50 light tank has received quite a bit of a nerf. It previously could go about 64 km/h forward, but it has now been reduced to its realistic speed of 52 km/h. It's still a good little tank, but just not as good as previously. When you use rockets or weapons using belts on ground vehicles, you have to spend the remaining belts or rockets in the rack or magazines in order to replenish on capture points. This has now been changed and it's a very nice update indeed. So now you can just replenish a single rocket or replenish half of a belt, for instance. There has also been added a maximum reload time for belts and launchers, which was definitely needed. The Japanese G2 and G2 Late tanks have had their engine's horsepower increased from 400 to 500 and the RPM reduced from 2000 to 1600. I always found these tanks to be very slow at accelerating, but now they seem much more responsive in that regard. I must admit I'm not quite sure of this, but to me this definitely seems to be the case. For low tier Russia, the BB-1 and all the Su-2 variant attack aircraft can now carry two 500 kg bombs. So bigger booms for those two types of aircraft. A small improvement in the single degree increase in the turret rotation has happened for the Panzer IV's Budget J model from 14 to 15 degrees a second. All the IL-2 Sturmovix can now carry an additional two 50 kg bombs, so instead of the previous 4 they can now carry 6, which is a nice little upgrade. A lot of World War II aircraft had their turret weapon models updated. A minor update, but high quality models are always a pleasure to look at. And lastly, the weight of two Japanese fighters has been decreased. The A6M5A and A6M6C has been reduced to 3,145 kg. Now I do not know how much weight has been taken off these aircraft, but they will no matter what perform better to some degree. That was about it for what I found interesting for World War II content changes. Thanks for watching and remember to deploy your die brakes. Have a good one.